And should be live momentarily. Hello, everybody! Mega Man Starforce Collection! Yay! Almost all the Mega Man games have been re-released, with apologies towards Mega Man Legends fans.
Yeah, the stream's starting a little bit late today, but we were just waiting for our copies to come in.
Yep, it's 2 hours later than we normally do it, simply because I pushed it back an hour initially just because I wasn't sure when it would get in, and then had to push it back another hour because it was delayed farther than we expected. So yeah, we're going to be playing Starforce 1 for everybody to check out all the new features this version of the game has. Now, while I played the Battle Network games religiously, I've played Mega Man Starforce 1 Dragon all of once, and I never completed Zerker, and I only got Starforce 3 when I was starting to plans to do the entire Battle Network retrospective, and we all know how that turned out.
Welcome to the world of Mega Man Starforce. Whether you're a newcomer or an EM Wave expert, it's time for an epic adventure through the stars.
Ironically, I saw more of Starforce. I saw the most of Starforce through the Ryusei no Rockman anime subs. And a bit of the dub when it had that single airing, as far as I remember. And I was a Starforce Dragon player.
Yeah, I was Starforce Pegasus because the Pegasus was objectively cooler to me.
Fair. It's like the coolness of dragons, and everybody should know my recurring gag about the nefarious electric element. Also, for other news, I completed the first test print of my full-color Gate of Ouroboros build with the Key of Twilight kanji and everything. There are things that need to be improved with this model, and in fact, it didn't print quite as correctly as I wanted to, but considering the entire thing is completely deconstructible, I'm very happy with the end result because it matches the game model immensely. So yeah. Also, another thing that annoyed me with just the Starforce games is they did the Zerker Ninja Saurian trilogy, but then they bundled them, and I didn't think that was a proper gimmick. If they were going to bundle them, I think they should have done all three versions on a single release. Like, even the fact that it's still like that in this collection, even though Zerker Ninja and Saurian are all different versions, it's just, like, odd. Also, I am also disappointed that this collection doesn't include Operate Shooting Star, but considering that would require the game have a completely new translation, yeah. Considering the game's already got translation updates in places with the Battle Network collection, that's something I feel like they could have done.
I'm gonna start reading off some comments. Media Go Oro say hello. DJ Toku, hi, nice to see you guys again. Been a bad month for me, so nice to see my favorite Mega Man series.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, the title screen for Mega Man Starforce 1 Shooting Star is like my favorite out of the Mega Man series.
The fact they kept it too. Okay, I need to find the adjustment controls. Settings.
Alright, while you're doing that, David Hayden said they played Pegasus.
Yeah.
Black Century King, I played Mega Man 2 and Arian jumped into his death.
I'm maxing out rewards. I like that they gave us these kind of modifiers. Just make it easier. Like, this is the kind of thing enable Battle Network content. Because they're on the original DS versions, for those who didn't play the Starforce games, you could slot in any of the GBA Battle Network games to get additional items and rewards. So I'm glad those are they fixed those sorts of patches.
Oh, boss locator.
Yeah, but we'll do that later. If we get through any of them, it'll depend on that. I'm not doing damage reduction, but I am doing Mega Buster power and Reward Zenny, just because Reward Zenny is a pain.
Media Hood, been meaning to ask, and I apologize if you already answered. Has the late sync affected your light sensitivity?
Oh yeah, made it worse in some respects, and I have a lot of starbursting at night. It's just something I gotta deal with.
Golden Garo says that the Starforce anime was done through Toonami's basic as a streaming service. I remember that.
I vaguely remember that. I never saw anything distributed through it. Just because it was that inaccessible when they started it when I was in college. And they had this one day, like right around when I started college, where they did a Toonami marathon thing, I think to advertise it, and then nothing else happened with it.
Yeah, I remember that. It was annoying. DJ Toku's had Dragon Zerker and Saurian and Black Ace. I actually don't think I ever...
Yeah, I think I might have asked people... One sec. Yeah, when I was picking up what I didn't have to when I was planning out the retrospective, obviously I had Dragon to start things out with. And then I thought I had Zerker Ninja. No, I actually have Zerker Saurian of 2. And then the one I didn't have was 3. So I remember asking social media, hey, which one should I try and track down? Red Ace or Black Joker? I was told overwhelmingly Black Joker.
Yeah, Black Joker is like my favorite because that Black Joker form slaps. It is...
Yeah, just like it... Oh, it does. But sometimes, the superior-looking form doesn't exactly translate to combat effective. But yeah, it's because of everybody who was communicating with me on social media around that time that I decided on that. But hey, now that we have this collection, we don't have to decide. We can do one per... in fact, with every Battle Network timeline game now, aside from 1 and 2, you have one copy of a file to do casually, and the other to just be the perfect completion file.
Sonya.
Yeah, Hibiki Misora, I think her Japanese name was. I mainly watched experienced most of it through the Shooting Star Rockman and Shooting Star Rockman Tribe animes, so I'm used to her like that. And yes, this is the telling part of who I ship Geo with. I'm so more used to the Japanese names in this one. It is the year 22OX. The Autobots have been banished from Cybertron again.
Oh man, you keep bringing the coffee. Extraterrestrial life has been discovered.
NASA, because NASA is copywritten, so of course you have to go with every legally distinct interpretation.
Yeah. DJ's asking, how are we?
Not too bad. I'm about to start my overtime hell lapse, though not aggressively yet, in April, so just to get stuff done. I am happy with how this turned out, with the Gate of Erebus rebuild turned out. Nothing's that stressful right now. I'm getting along with my managers.
Yeah. Things are going pretty well for me at work. I can't really discuss anything more than that, but I'm pretty happy with things right now.
I'm gonna go into the menus again. I just need to check something with the filtering. Yeah, the filtering was actually screwing with the picture quality of the satellite. It's unfortunately a bit of a thing with like those filters, and like when you need the proper pixel quality, it doesn't look right.
David Zayden had played Black Ace back in the day when it was not able to finish it. Media Hood says, I'm avoiding the obvious double jump with Black Joker. The author said, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it was aliens. The new voices means like when you jack in, like Geo actually speaks.
Yeah. The fact they do both of those, but I think it's like a difference between original voices, because I could have sworn they were keeping the Japanese audio in as well. And also, I was trying to change like the layout of where the
Screen layout?
Yeah. Like, not just the wallpaper, because, like, the little DS screen was at a odd location. It's like it's on the top left, and it's like, I could have sworn I saw on the thing
yeah,
that
you
I can
So,
change the location.
Can you go after the settings real quick?
Yeah.
Screen layout? Yeah. Yeah, position. You want position.
Yeah, see, that's not what I was referring to.
Or is it size ratio you're thinking of?
No, it's in the top left and right now, and it's showing in the bottom right in this. So it's not positioned correctly. It's in the exact diagonal opposite position right now on our current screen to where it actually should be. Yeah, you see that on the top left?
I see that, but maybe it's just like that for right now. Queen Alley, hey Death, hey Alex, sorry I'm late. Which Starforce game are we playing? Hopefully Pegasus. Well,
she's doing Pegasus, I'm doing Dragon.
So basically, a peace-bearing satellite that was supposed to make contact with aliens went missing, and some of its debris landed in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. And of course, since this happened 3 years ago, Geo, who is now like 10 or 11ish, would have taken it hard as a 7 or 8-year-old kid and had difficulty processing that. So it's like, it's not exactly you can say get over it when you're that young. Now, of course, he has to start, actually having to deal with it and get outside of it, but at the age of the inciting incident, it's more understandable why he would get trapped in that mental blue screen. Because, children aren't the best at processing their emotions, especially when it comes to things that were traumatizing. And yeah, 5th grade, he would have been around 7 in the original incident. Which makes more sense than, say, an older person having those same issues. Phantom 666, how much money do you think was lost when the space station failed/blew up? Oh, it's future money's problem. Ah, yes, everything that can be taught through the card force system.
How going are you? What are you two able to see if the Sony and Luna DLC are free or not?
It's paid DLC.
I mean, it's paid, but it's kind of cool that they still did it.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't think it's out yet for us. If it is, I checked earlier and it wasn't at the time I was looking at it.
I like how we were opening and we were already dealing with something pretty heavy, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like, it's showing that it wasn't exactly abandoning the lighthearted but serious tone in the Battle Network series, and approaching things definitely from a much different way from the original ones.
Aurora
Borealis.
At this time of day, at this part of the year, located entirely within its living room.
Yes.
See it?
You're looking right at him.
Oh my god! And then I just my eyes glow from the knowledge.
Mm.
Queen Natalie, more dystopian fiction from the Battle Network Starforce timeline. Hooray!
I think this really is dystopian compared to the Mega Man X period in the main timeline, which this is where that would match up with.
Media Hut, my best guess, Invader Zim is behind this, or at least the Urkin Empire.
Aliens. You see, we have this nice belt with a bunch of switches on it.
Man, where's that crossover art? Like, Kamen Rider 4s with Mega Man Starforce?
I'm pretty sure someone did it.
Golden Garo, I like that the toner basically grew up with the audience.
I think it's just the fact of, at the time, Mega Man fatigue. Because this was 2007, 2008-ish.
Yeah,
and we had gotten a game every... more than one game every year between the Battle Network timeline and the X and Zero side of the series. And it's like, by the time the DS games rolled around, we were just tired. Even if we liked the games and the gameplay, they just weren't varied enough, so you just kind of had to keep taking breaks from them, or you played them so religiously over and over again. I am guilty of that. Between Pokemon and Mega Man at the time, that you just, like, were exhausted, and you weren't even really realizing you were burning yourself out about that. That's why I kind of tried to not do more than one Mega Man game when I was reviewing them per year, and then just the 2017 onwards schedule drift is the only reason I didn't complete, like, that entire thing. Like, I've got Battle Network 6 footage done with from the Legacy Collection, because I had it by the time I would have been doing that. Just like, you know, my entire production halt for sake of mental health is what, and of course, no longer having a viable editing program is why I never got around to finishing that up.
Black Century King, do you guys think they would counter the 0.7 or 0.8 civilization? I'm
not familiar with that classification.
Me neither.
Forgetting what the Japanese version, name for the Brother Band system is. I think it might have been... Fuck. It's been too long.
Golden Garo, I got the games I did years apart, so that was never really... the fatigue never really set in for him.
Yeah, even like you were getting one per year and then you played them religiously over and over again or obsessively to complete all the collectibles every time, which was usually my way of play, it could wear on you.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the only day we're going to be doing streams of the Starforce games, just because time and we want to kind of do this. But it's like, once this is done with, starting next week, we are going to be doing Trails in the Sky. Or rather, Alexis will be doing Trails in the Sky.
Yeah.
Because she's been wanting to do that on stream, and we just want to, like, get to it.
Yeah, and more specifically, the remake. But, like, I'll gush about it and send you all to my fandom hole when we get there.
It's in a hole.
DJ Toku, he's got his headgear now off to the digital world. Oh wait, wrong franchise.
Yeah, he's a gogglehead with that. Well, not exactly a gogglehead, he's a visor head. Oh, there's the cipher code thing. Oh, that's gonna... So... Starforce 1 had a system where, because it was exploiting a touchscreen, you could actually type in codes to get cards, and there's over 100 of them you can enter through cipher mail, but it's gonna take forever because you can't just type them in with a touchpad. Yeah. Oh! Okay, that makes things easy.
Who the heck said that? Nobody. Pay no attention to the weird dragon on your screen.
Okay, so they thought of that. That is very nice, because that would be so insufferable otherwise.
Queen Annalie, I really enjoy the Starforce games, but there's a lot of questions that I've always wondered that I've never gotten an answer to. What happened to the Net Navis? What happened to Land and Megaman?
That was, like, 200 years ago, so... honestly, I think that doesn't matter as much, outside of you seeing the direct product of their actions in that things being pretty damn peaceful.
Media, I never understood the appeal of visors personally. They always looked off to me.
It's a retro-futuristic thing. Like, there are sunglasses that are specifically just, like, one solid, consistent shape.
Golden Garo, also who was confused about the Blue Bomber moniker until they learned it was a Rock'em Sock'em Robots reference.
This is the first time I've ever learned that that's the actual reason for it.
DJ Toku, was that Rayquaza?
Yeah, that's the Forest Dragon. He's the administrator for Dragon. The versions this time are just based off of the specialty forms.
But I love that. It's like, are you Rayquaza? No, I'm
legally distinct Rayquaza. See, my body is made up of glowing energy with small armored pieces.
So you're Mega Rayquaza?
Fuck.
Am I wrong?
God damn it. But yeah, I think I gotten the point across with the cipher items. Like, there's some very nice stuff in there, and it's like, I don't want to keep accidentally clicking on that stupid class email.
Mega Breath. Yep. He's going up to Vista Point to see his dad. Or at least try to...
Of course you'd like a sour soda.
Media Hood, I swear the dragon logo looks like a combination of the Lupin Ranger logo and Agita's head crest.
Kinda. Okay, now.
Zachary Dobbins. Navis basically became outdated, mostly, which kind of feels sick since they were basically sentient.
Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. It still should be on the other side of the screen, but goddamn. Why is that not working? I'd prefer it on the right, not the left.
Is there a right? Here.
Yeah, that's just position up and down. Yeah, sorry, this is just annoying me.
Why is that?
I could just flip it, I'd be fine.
Oh, green zoom preview? Oh, okay, that's what that does. Oh, that's okay. Huh.
Playing vertically would be weird, but I guess considering you rotate the Switch 2 console, Switch and Switch 2 consoles vertically to like match it, and people can rotate the footage for the honest perspective, I guess, okay. Whatever, this still looks better.
Goldegaro, Wizards basically became New Age Navies in 3. Zachary Dobbins, well, isn't this Mega Man basically a common writer?
I mean, okay, we'll get to that once we get War Rock / Omega Ixis online, but it's more based off of the immense popularity of the Battle Network anime from Access onward seasons. Drill Curl Girl.
She's actually my favorite.
And of course, you see my preference on screen right there between the two.
I think
but then again, Geo has 2 hands, so
yeah. And I actually like her character arc. I'm a sucker for Navi girl who goes on a journey of self-discovery.
Which I cannot deny.
Like, you know, Weichni from Ruby. Like, I'm sorry. Like, next to Yang, she's my second favorite.
Granted, Weiss took a lot longer, and a lot of her character arc was, oh crap, we made her too bitchy in the first season.
True. But you get what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
DJ8. Between Pegasus and Dragon, he's basically saying, shouldn't there be other admins like Cygnus, Phoenix, or Andromeda?
Cygnus and Andromeda are featured characters.
They're making a Saint Seiya reference.
Yeah. Did the Starforce Battle Network crossover get released here? Operate Shooting Star does not exist outside of Japan. Yeah, a lot of Ruby's just general problems can be found from the failure of the first season. Whereas they tried to fix everything, but then everybody hated, not everybody, a vocal minority hated what they tried to fix and felt the first season was perfect. And it's like, no, the first season is where all the problems start from. Too nosy.
But I think it's not coming.
The bounce of the drill curls as she walks.
I know it's perfect.
And yeah, part of my appreciation of Hibiki, I'm still using her Japanese name because I'm forgetting her English one. Sonia. A lot of my appreciation for Sonia, again, comes from the anime where she was Gio's active battle partner through so much of it. Like, they took what they saw clearly worked with Mail from middle of stream onwards, and then just kept at it. Because they got immense positive feedback from Cross-Fusion Roll. Never! Yeah, another improvement I know about from this version is you can connect to all your online friends that also play the game to have an unlimited number of connectable brothers. Or is it like 99? But with respect to the actual gameplay mechanics, it's like a lot. DJ Toku, too bad the anime never got to 3, nor did the dub get finished. They rushed the dub, like they skipped a bunch of episodes, I think, to get to it. So, and especially because they were all 15-minute half episodes, or 10-minute half episodes. Regardless, they were paired episodes, so the English version, like, kept consolidating plot lines down. Like, the anime got hurt a lot through to that consolidation, because they kept, like, having to split episodes down the center to make 2-parters out of what were before would have been single episodes. So like it took 4 episodes to have a full opening arc, and it's like the first season is like a 50 episode run, so it's just like 25 normal length episodes. And then Tribe was 26-ish, so it's like it's only a 13 episode season once you consolidate that down too.
Queen Natalie, sorry, Blondie. Gia's already got a girlfriend and she's a pop idol. Okay, I'm not, like, I have my preferences, but I'm not saying Sonya is bad. It's more, like, she is a cute pink girl who rocks out with a guitar. Like, you can't really say, there's no part of that statement that's bad, right?
Rephrase, both of them have strong characterization, so it's like, where you shift one way or another. Do you want the battle partner, or do you want the person who's actually aggressively supportive and making it so that the protagonist doesn't neglect important things?
Like, Luna definitely seems to be the type where if she's too ladylike to do it, but I can imagine her, like, kicking down the door and be like, it's homework time!
Plus, in the anime, there's the initial mystery of the superhero, the superhero mystique going on with Gio's alter ego. Going girl, they never even got to the admins. Really? I could have sworn they did.
You gotta write something.
Yeah, I was more paying attention to the chat.
Stevenson, yeah, I'll be the first to admit Luna did not make the best first impression. She does get better, though.
Yeah, just like, initial impression from years ago, it's like, she seemed more like, she seemed too much like Yai, and oh, I hated Yai, as my reviews of the Battle Network anime kind of presented.
He's definitely better than Yai, though.
Yeah, but it's like, it's the initial snooty girl, aggressive, motive that she has going for her.
Yo.
Just to get it done with. Yes, clearly we have real friends.
I'm a real friend.
You are a real friend. And we will do that later once you get set up in the game. Eccentric King, still like the cop that kept harassing Gio, and the trope of him willing to do everything can to capture him was off-putting. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he was officially recognized superhero like Lan and Megaman were in the anime. Yeah, I don't know why it is, but like a lot of class rep characters in Japanese anime just like did not come off well.
DJ Toku, having a girl come up to me and badger me to go to school was way more annoying when I was playing this game as a kid. And yeah, when you're playing this game for the first time, we were all still in school, so it's like, ugh.
I mean, I was going to college by that point, but well, same
me,
difference.
I was still in school.
It's like, it's a close enough connection to see it weirdly. And it's not like, again, like anime, so much stuff with class rep or class president stuff gets misinterpreted, like the stuff with Makoto in Persona 5. Or Hikari Haraki from Evangelion, where she comes off more, off-putting by proxy.
Jesse Springer, do we like Yoko Taro's lore? We don't know his lore.
We don't play Yoko Taro's games. What would tell you that we were Yoko Taro fans? We've never done anything with Yoko Taro stuff. Like, okay, he makes good stuff, we don't engage with it.
Yeah.
Out of 10, what would you rank the Starforce anime? It's 7. 6 in its split up form, because, let's face it, half-length episodes do not help Japanese anime. Whoever thought that was a good idea should have been smacked.
Bilbo, still so many high school memories with this game in the ZX series. I remember playing the ZX series too.
And obviously I can't battle anybody yet because I'm not really that far across, but... yeah, battle card trading will be a thing later. The hell? Did it completely boot me from the game just to go into the network battle stuff?
I guess so.
Weird.
It's something to figure out later. Right now, we gotta go look lazy. We have to like gaze up into the stars.
We have to list lazily to the left. I'm guessing all the special download stuff's through the cipher mail system.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's a train.
Because I could have sworn there was some, like, other special distribution stuff that would have been available through other means.
I love that description for the bench. It's like, yep, that's a bench, alright.
Also, like, who else, when they were playing these, were wondering why there were no, guidebooks? Because I actually know the reason. M. Cipher, Greg Sepalak, is a regular on Linkara's streams. He is one of the two guys who do the Isle of Rangoon series, and he was a game guide writer back in the 2000s. The entire reason, but he said during one of Linkara's streams that the entire reason why he didn't do guides of the Starforce games was just by the end of Battle Network 6, he specifically was burned out on doing the guides for the games because he'd done guides for 3 through 6 on that. I think I have a little scrap of paper somewhere that lists what stream of Linkara's he said that on, because like I keep notes like that, but who knows where I actually have it right now. But yeah, just professional burnout towards that is why we didn't get actual Starforce guides, and we had to rely on game facts for any relevant information, like finding all the HP memories and stuff. Can't really fault the guy for it.
A boy just mentions his dad. And this isn't like, oh, he died in a war. This is like, he went off into space to try to be a hero, and then...
Well, he went up for space cigarettes, and...
he never came back. Oh, no. This is Dad's access signal. Getting closer.
And then he's hit by lightning out of nowhere. It's a clear night! In another bad scenario, this would have been an isekai scenario instead of a reverse isekai scenario.
DJ Toku, what did I miss? So there's this alien.
There's this alien energy cat person.
Which, okay, can I say that I like Omega since this guy's design?
Yeah, War Rock.
Yeah. That's funny. Humans aren't supposed to be able to see energy beings like me.
Okay, how am I hearing you then if you're not supposed to see me?
Am I dreaming? Oh, good. The ghost is gone. He can't hurt me now.
Is it? Black Central King, if Capcom made a new Mega Man game in a different universe, I want a combination of ZX and Starforce, which I think itself would work well together. Aesthetically, combining them, I can see that because ZX also did the Henshin Hero motif for them. As in, combining their settings, ZX is like thousands and thousands of years into the future. Oh yeah, you electrified them so now he can see EM waves. That makes total sense. But then again, this is going a bit more supernatural than the technologically grounded, but it's still fictitious Battle Network stuff. Like, as wacky as they could get, it always tried to ground itself in some level of technology, whereas this is definitely supernatural electromagnetic AI aliens, which is a bit more out there, but not the worst.
DJ, Cat, I always got a bear or a Wolverine vibe from Omega.
It's definitely a bestial look, but it's like from the shape of the face, like how it's square, I always get cat.
So what you're saying is that an alien cat thing zapped some glasses, and that's how we got our hero.
Not quite.
Like, my thing when it comes to, like, stuff involving aliens is that as long as you're consistent with the lore of the aliens in your body of work, and there is some sort of vague science behind it, like, I'll just wave my hand. Like, if we're dealing with highly advanced technology and stuff, who am I to know what the heck supposed to be going on, you know?
Yeah, it's like, as long as the stuff is consistent, even if it's out there, I'm okay with it to a extent. Obviously, electromagnetic aliens can have its own level of consistency.
Oh no, the train's going.
He chooses us.
Or death! Media Hood, I'd rather have Omega as my partner than Vice, that for sure. DJ Toku said this is going full Arthur C. Clarke. Media Hood, good job, guitar!
Just about there. Yeah, one thing I do like about this is it gives Geo a bit more agency in being an active participant, as opposed to the brother thing we had going on with Lan and Mega Man, where it only felt like you were focusing on one character at a time. But you still get that bond of comrades thing going on because, you know, Omega allows for Geo to do this.
But also, it's like, I love how they, like, the first thing we see is, like, all that emotional buildup with this kid trying to grapple with the fact that his dad's gone and he's so young and, like, everyone's still affected by it. And it's like, I never really saw that kind of thing back in the day.
Yeah. The on-air thing is a reference to the show, by the way. That was the subtitle for direct anime adaptations of games at the time. Cross fusion. Still technically cross fusion because he has to slot a card in his personal device.
DJ, EM wave change.
Also, the fact that he's left-handed throughout most of this, not just with the Buster, but with all the weapons because of how the battle card system works.
Truly a hero for the lefties.
Yeah, I think he's only the only left-handed Mega Man.
P968, basically Mega Man if it was Digimon Frontier.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing. Frontier was a good series that people just didn't like because it was different. Again, I've defended Frontier multiple times in streams and on shows because the lack of a partner, despite that being a gimmick through the other seasons, allowed for more active, dynamic character development for the main characters. Especially because outside of Koichi, it was a pretty static cast. Yeah, kid's panicking because he's been thrown into a situation he doesn't expect. Understandable, even if it ends up a bit annoying to some people.
Yeah, it's like, if anybody finds like Gio annoying early on, I have to stress he's a kid,
and this entire situation forces him into a character arc. I think that's what annoys me about bad literary analysis so much is like you don't consider character arc in things at all.
Right, because the game clearly established that Gio has been stuck for like in time basically for like the last 3 years. This has been the shot in the arm, or that he's been needing, you know?
Yeah. Like even with other series where people like hate on where they go and prefer where it started, and it's like where it started wasn't necessarily where it was ever intended to end because things have to progressively develop to be worth things. So if a character is flawed or makes mistakes, that's deliberately and intentionally part of the character arc.
DJ Toku, Frontier was fine. I defend Sabers myself.
Again, I've gone over that in video form. It's like, it's not a fact of I think Sabers is bad, it's just poor timing of when it was first released.
Whee! You see, we're jumping into this locomotive so we can do some training.
We're jumping onto white space. Yarg.
We're jumping on the white space. Yarg! There's like an old video that somebody did back in the day called Jumping on a White Space, and it's just a dance remix of that particular clip from the dub, and it's hilarious. There is one thing consistent throughout these games. Medars will always be a menace.
P96822. Some Hyper Spirit kids were kind of weird, like the ice one turns into a penguin. That's the fusion form. And all the fusion forms could get a bit weird because they weren't constrained by toy gimmickry like Aldemon and Beowulfmon were, where they had to deliberately be amalgamations of the spirit armors. Granted, they end up looking the best out of them because of that amalgamation, but that's just why we didn't see the other 4 fusions for them. I guess Jaeger Loemon could have been done, because that wasn't far off with how it formatted itself, but the Lightning Spirit, Wind Spirit, and Ice Spirit definitely wouldn't have handled that correctly.
Black Century King. People not paying attention to how characters are portrayed in media has become sad.
Yeah. The media illiteracy is rampant. Not just, oh, I dislike this point because it's not how I view the characters or evidence from their journey. It's no, you didn't pay attention from the start. I really do cite Ruby as one of the big examples of that because of how much people didn't pay attention to literally anything the series was doing. Now, I'm not even that big a Ruby fan. It's just like, in response to how toxic sections of that fandom genuinely got.
Now, like, for I think the reason why this Legacy collection took a while was because they had to basically, like, redo these bits, you know?
So much! And, like, format that to work like this with the dual screen. Like, just accommodate everything dual screen related.
Mm-hmm.
Graphics.
Oh, that's a change at all, but I think maybe, can you...
Yeah, there is a custom option.
Yeah, character icons updated?
Yeah, original, updated. Yeah, game visuals are just the one issue I was having, so let's go with that.
Yeah,
now they're much sharper.
Yeah, and the fact that you had to they redid these cards, like...
It's not so much like they redid them. From the archive look, this is the actual quality card art, but then from the drawn art, they had to pixelize it to fit the system, so this is that art non-pixelized. Yeah, first it's columns, then it's colors. And then types. Because there is a rule where you can, if all cards are the same colors, it's fine to multi-pick them.
So it's like, it's up to you to decide, figure out like how you can make things nutty.
Mm-hmm.
Media HUD. Now I think about it, do you think a Kamen Rider series... Oh, what? Are we allowed to answer that question?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
But just like, reminder, we're not doing Toku shit these days. Knock it off. But this is a one-off. I really shouldn't have to start the stream every time by putting up a bulleted disclaimer, don't ask Toku questions. You guys should be able to get it by this fucking point. But yeah, go ahead.
Now that I think about it, do you think a Kamen Rider series with a fully digital setting would work in a similar vein to this?
X8 is probably the closest we're going to get. It's like, anytime you try to do virtual world in live action, it doesn't quite go well. It's basically something you can only really do with animated or game setting stuff just because of how you need to transition everything. The effects budget to do it any halfway as effectively as you need to is just like too immense to really handle it outside of a brought into the real world sort of scenario like X8 has done. It's like, just look at how badly Tron is consistently done. Where they make it just because it's a legacy property, even though the original movie kind of just sucked. Oh yeah, wild battle cards are the ones that can be done with anything. Whereas the others, you gotta just like mash the colors you're typing.
I just remember you can get some really funny combos going if you...
Yeah, I just wish the game had program advances.
Yeah. Feels like something... it feels like something's missing without those. But they're doing something different, so... whatever.
Grass stage will be helpful for later. Maniacal laugh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that feature I liked.
Yeah, and the counter system allowing you to get free cards, just speed up battles even more if you time the counters.
Yeah, it's like, that's what it's supposed to... like, that's what a counter system really needed, you know?
Granted, you got stuff from later counter systems, but early on, yeah, you got nothing.
Bombs.
Green Natalie, we didn't finish the new Samurai Troopers anime. We're waiting for... We felt like the stuff that was not being translated was intrusive enough that we weren't getting the proper experience of the entire series, so we just stopped until such a time that it gets on home video with a proper complete translation, if it even fucking gets that. But yeah, we heard about how badly it was being rushed, and I am dead certain, if anyone's seen me talk about it on social media, that it's because of Sunrise's annoyingly insistent policy right now to season split. Had it had a continuous run, I don't think that the first half would have been rushed to meet the mid-season cliffhanger. It's the entire general problem with season splitting that I have railed against over and over again, where unless you can tell a complete story in the first half of your season that will continue on immediately from where it left off in the next part of it, you shouldn't be fucking doing it. Because, especially with Sunrise series, it more and more hurts their products. Like, it hurt G-Witch, it hurts Kogias, it hurts... Like, throw a dart at what they've done that has a season split in it, and everything aside from Gundam 00 or Build Divers Re-Rise, and it will have harmed it in its full make. I think IBO is another exception, even though people dislike the second half of the season, but that's because the first season told a complete story. It's an example of what that should be done with that.
Because, yeah, like with IBO Season 2, quote-unquote, like, the argument is, does the events of Season 1, does Season 2 make sense from where Season 1 left off? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they time skip it to tell a new story or a continuance of the story with the same characters, just with a time skip. So it's the issues with the second season are not a result of the season splitting. It's just like the paradigm shift. Same thing with Gundam 00. The first season tells a complete story, then it has the paradigm shift for the grander story that is revealed over the course of the second season. Whereas with Kogias, with other things that with Code Geass with G-Witch, it's supposed to be an entire story that just has this dividing point on where they need to stop for a bit before completing it, and it's that split up that ends up harming things because it shows how the divide in story development actually negatively impacted it, or as was specifically G-Witch's issue, it's episode 12 and where it leaves off at episode 12 should have realistically been episode 16, but they condensed that down because they needed that mid-season break. Had they kept it as a continuous run and paced that out better, it would have helped the story overall. And from everything I've been reading about what was going on with Yoroi Shinda and Samurai Troopers, that is another thing that impacted that. The first half of the season, even though they're just doing a mid-season break and coming back in a couple months, is impacted by the need to get to that break point. Yeah, it's like, so much stuff is being harmed by the core development system. It's like, it either takes too long to get the next step of what actually works, instead of, just, like, shuffling it out off the scene for new stuff. Like, JST's staff right now is continually pushing back development of the Raildeck series. We were supposed to have Railgun F already, and it's been pushed back to next year, and apparently, though we're still getting the new A Certain Scientific Item series by the end of the year, but I feel like that's telling from how badly One Punch Man Season 3 went over, that they had to stop development of that, just because there were so many active complaints about how badly it was being animated and everything about it was being done again. And considering the timing of when they did One Punch Man last was also when they screwed up development of the Raildeck series with how bad Index Season 3 was, I feel like that is directly happening because they once again got One Punch Man when they should not be handling at all One Punch Man. Queen Alley, I agree. Why a complete story? Leave a few threads for a second season, but write a complete story. Yeah, and again, with the Samurai Troopers, the issue is there is clearly supposed to be a complete story, but it's being rushed forward and not developed correctly because of the insistence on season splitting for the mid-season breaks. Just wait until you have everything animated and run it continuously. Don't break it up. It's not as much a problem with series that are being adapted from manga, but if it's a completely original production, that is a completely different matter.
Golden Garo said, apparently Shingo Izumi said that the overwhelming response to the Battle Network collection is what led to this collection.
Yeah, which is good, and hopefully...
Part of it, anyway.
Yeah. Which is good, and hopefully, we can... As I've said since we got the Battle Network collection, I'm hoping we can get a And the Rest collection for Legends and stuff they've missed from just the other series. Like, maybe we'll be able to get Operate Shooting Star through that. Okay, we probably have to, like, wave change, and then come into that from, like, that marker there.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of an annoyance versus the...
Jack-in everywhere.
Jack-in everywhere that is a jack-in port system. But hey, slightly different mechanics. And it's like, it does save a bit of processing time where you can do all the wave road and virus stuff, like, integrated into the overall map. So, like, that's still a fun thing.
Golden Garo, this is my Hopium Copium. But if this game does well as Battle Network Collection, I hope they bring Starforce back from the dead. And this new Terry person that answered the chat, like, completely missed the Samurai Troopers talk, so...
Yeah. As someone who's seen the OGs, who haven't seen the OG Samurai Troopers, I thought the 2026 Samurai Troopers was fine, just felt rushed. And again, my entire reason for saying that the first half of this series was rushed is because they're forcing it into the core system where they're only running it one core at a time, and thus it's getting rushed to get to a specific set of plot points for the mid-season break. Sunrise is ridiculously bad at that right now and has been for over 2 decades, with any time they split up a series that should more logically be formatted as a continuous run. Code Geass was the start of that. It harmed the series immensely. Gundam 00 survived it just fine because they told a complete story in its first season, so the breakup before the second one wasn't a problem. Build Divers Re-Rise is the only thing they've done since that has a mid-season split between its continuous story run that actually functions correctly, because when it went on break for between the first and second half of the season, the break point felt like a natural break point instead of forcing a story to be rushed to that point.
You're Crystal. Hello from Japan, everybody. Oh, you're in Japan right now?
Huh.
Okay,
I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to read through all of these just to get them done, because we already did all this.
That was one complaint I did have about the handheld Mega Man game.
You just can't mark them as red. Especially for the stuff you already did, where it's there as a reminder.
DJ Toku, I get why it's not a thing anymore, but I miss when anime had 50 plus episodes as a single show. Here's the thing. It's not that they don't exist anymore. It's just there are way fewer of them in favor of, like, short 13-episode isekai slop anime.
Yeah, that's what I call... That's what I'm saying when I refer to something as a core season. Those run for 1/4 of the year. 1/4 of a year in scheduling terms is referred to as a core. C-O-U-R. And it's like, for them, it's a animation budget thing, and since so many of those are adaptations of series that are just like out and have spot popularity, there's only so much to adapt at a time, so you have to give it a break point before the rest of what exists can be developed out. It used to be in like a 26-episode format stuff. Even older stuff sometimes still had 13 episodes, but then could come back for more easily. Like, say, Gravion and Gravion's Y. That was original series. It got 13 episodes. It had enough there to do a second season not long after, which picked up from where the first season left off, even though it was an entirely different production schedule in the back half.
Gear Crystal, I got all 4 Nana Mizuki Museum's albums. Oh, so you have the Holy Quad Force. So if you place all 4 Nana Mizuki CDs on a table and chant mythical gibberish, I'm pretty sure that's how you summon random Nana Mizuki character into the real world.
Yeah, it's just like, right now, everybody is fighting for all this space to, like, do for media or have out their own adaptations of the media that no one's really wanting to commit that much until something's already a functional success. Like, even look at My Hero Academia. Its first season of 13 episodes because people didn't know, despite it being a Shonen Jump series, whether it would actually be successful. And then they were kind of the pioneers of sticking to that 26-episode season format after. But you still got 26 episodes per season, so it's still a viable amount of content being done at a single time. Right now, so much stuff just does not want to commit anymore.
Got a card.
Heavy Cannon.
Heavy Cannon. My favorite mecha series, Heavy Cannon LGO.
I'm annoyed by this because there is no longer a program advanced system in here.
Yeah, I know. Still, even though you're in Japan, Cure Crystal, your presence here is appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you for stopping in.
Because all I know is if I was vacationing in Japan, I would certainly be like... Oh, I remember this feature, like you could tap their screen or something. How do you...
Yeah, how would we even do that here?
Yeah, you could have their brother system or whatever, so it's like, is there, like... I'm sure that...
Move the camera! Move the camera!
That's not, yeah, that's not it.
Let's just look around.
Oh, with the Wonders, not until the third game. Oh, okay.
Where you can, what, read their things?
No, not with Galaxy Advances.
I have no idea what that is because I never actually played Battlelord 3.
Basically, I guess it's the Program Advanced replacement.
Ah.
DJ Toku, if I was in Japan, I'd be in a dang food coma by now. Oh, okay, to be fair, like, with how many delicious, like, street foods there are in Japan, yeah, I would just be like... Oh, okay, I remember now. Like, you can only... I think you can only do that when you're in your EM waveform.
Hmm.
If memory serves.
Again, I played this game once.
There's a wave hole here.
It's gone now.
Echo Ridge.
The dolphin?
Oh no! The final boss, Echo the Dolphin. Sometimes, in order to get out of your shell, you just need an alien cat creature to, like, jump into your life and then live inside of your wrist-mounted device.
Or as the girlfriend.
Whichever comes first.
Gongar, one thing I wish they handled differently in these games is Pat, Gemini Toast. They screwed him over so hard after this game.
Yeah.
I don't have context to it. I barely played Zorker and didn't play Battlelord 3. Yeah, I vaguely remember his stuff as having split personality and sort of like a mix between Endrance and Sakubo.
There's a wave hole.
Gone now.
DJ, when I was a kid, I nicknamed Omega Logan.
Not wrong.
Hey, Bub, you want to go fight some, viruses?
You know what I would have found funnier? Is like if the helmet had like more of a Beast Out stylization.
Yeah,
so
like
Warrock Omega would have been on his head and then his jaw would have moved and his eyes moved down to look at Geo to like talk with him instead of it being a case where you're literally talking to his hand.
Talk to the hand.
I like what the anime did though, where they had him literally eat the battle cards to create the
I remember
weapons.
that. I like that. It gave it a different flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Green Alley, Desk question, did you hear the news about the new Cyborg 009 anime? That they're doing another Cyborg 009 anime? Yes, we heard about that.
Ah, you can change targets. Cindy White.
So many recovery items.
And a poisoned apple, I think.
Apple. Do that later. I know, like, somewhere else in Echo Ridge, we can actually run into Megaman. I mean, .exe Megaman.
No, I thought you meant the original, like, robot Mega Man. Your Mega Man, their Mega Man, he's Mega Man. Are there any other Mega Mans I need to know about?
Meow.
Wait, which one's doing Meow? That'd be Legends.
No, it's like there's the one episode from the anime where...
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. Oh no.
They had the cat virus.
Yeah. Chase Wind. Chase Wind. I'm your average guy who loves to fly.
Okay, white ones are the can do anything with.
Golden Garo, before you're done with the stream, check out the art gallery. I just saw a cute bit of artwork of the Stellar family.
Okay, well, hang on. Let me actually save real quick so we can just go over to that.
Yeah,
that's a good thing to point out.
Yeah, because this collection has like a big art gallery.
Mm-hmm. Turn to main menu. And it's like, yeah, from what I was seeing from the preview stuff, it has an art gallery almost as big as the archival book.
That's cute. Okay, like that art right there.
Yeah, it's like that was one of the things that sold me from people telling me about which one to buy. That sold me on Black Joker,
like that
Black Ace.
Yeah, but like that gauntlet design for the Mega Buster, like that's sick.
Like the fact they did the more sketchy style for this one.
Ah, the...
Yeah, this is extensive.
Okay, like that... Yeah, this is really cool. Like, this is just, like... For archival purposes, this is amazing, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, so somebody always has this.
Oh my god, that is so
I'm
cute.
guessing this might have been the one.
Yeah, that is cute. Like, Mom, our cat's acting weird again.
My god, it's full of stars.
All the lights in the sky are stars.
Yeah, it's like, space is not black. Like, it's just like, we have so much light pollution, even from the sun, that we can't really see all of the distinction for all of it. Like, I've been out in areas where it's completely clear at night with little little light pollution, and it gets like this.
Crystal asks a good question. With all the collections lately involving DS games, how are they integrating the bottom screen functions here? Like,
well, you should have been seeing it before from just how it looked when we were in the game.
Yeah. But they're doing it well enough, as well as they could have.
Yeah, so this is single screen. And this is dual screen.
Yeah.
That's the dual screen. That's all it showed constantly whenever you were playing, because they were still main single screen. And then the only real difference became when you were in combat for the battle card system, because the battle cards were on the second screen. It was basically the only time it used the second screen. See how it swapped? And then it swapped back again? Because the battles would be on the top screen for all the combat, and then you'd use the touchscreen to actually select your weapons.
Golden Garo, at 3D artists, they love concept art, so yeah, that's good. Can I answer Wizard of Wonder's question?
Yeah, so then this is bottom. What we're playing on right now is the big one. Is would have been the bottom screen. You would touch on stuff to actually unlock other functions or see other stuff, and then the little icon of everything would be on the top screen at that time. You'd have to swap between them, and it's like, okay, DS was really good with its gimmicks, but for just like media preservation and for people who like couldn't split their attention appropriately, it could get annoying. Sorry, you were going.
Wizard of Wonder's question. Am I allowed to answer that?
What do you think of OpenAI's Sora shutting down? AI is bullshit? No. Like, Sora should have been shut down just because of how much it is a copyright infringement machine. It's like, how should I phrase this? Make better art. It's like, I know it's time-consuming, but it's worth it. And the Sora thing with the video, it's like, the bullshit of deepfakeness, just no. HP memory, yay.
DJ, do you think the Meta artists have PTSD from fighting another Mega Man after 200 years?
Like they even remember.
No, I'm just imagining them all discussing. We heard talk to the Great Blue Bomber. He would be a scourge upon us people. But luckily, we have nothing to worry about. Another Blue Bomber has not been seen in 200... I'm Mega Man. Oh my god. The Great Destroyer has returned.
Big Meteor.
Lieutenant G. Oh my god. The Great Destroyer has become...
Oh yeah, I forget that it's like when I don't fire, it charges, so like we can get the super shots later. But it's like, Sora shutting down, it's like, just shows how kind of worthless like all those AI initiatives kind of are, where it's not viable at this point. Like when it was still started becoming a thing, I like tried out some of that stuff experimentally, see like, okay, see what it can do. And it's like, it's not really worth it. Oh hey, invisible chips, I need to find some of those later. This is where we find him? Oh. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
All waves.
Yeah, this was all stuff that led up into Clockman? Chronoman? The Battle Network EXE crossover stuff.
The design of these guys, they remind me of Chow's.
Yeah, they're basically just the Mr. Programs, but...
Oh, that's insane.
What?
Okay, so P968 asked, what do you think of Mega Meganium's new ability? And I wasn't sure what that was. I looked it up. Because of Pokemon Champions, Mega Meganium's new ability is called Mega Soul. It basically treats it as if solar, like, Sunny Day is always active.
Oh, so instant solar beams.
But also synthesis.
Oh, damn.
So synthesis operates better when it's sunny day out. So you're
because what's the phrase? Because of all the chlorophyll. So
right. So now you're having a Pokemon already known for its bulk have access to a highly advanced healing move, so it can literally do the
super tank.
Yes. That's actually really good. A great change.
So Meganium's going to be competitive again. Which they would include the crossover section if you have saved data from both the Battle Network and Starforce Legacy collections. That's literally what we're doing right now. We're doing the crossover stuff.
Polygar, in regards to Mega Meganium, it's like, that is a vile ability to give it. I know, right? That is evil. But, like, the best kind of evil that I can't be mad at because that's so fit. Like, it's a Mega Evolved Pokemon. It needs to be insane. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, what would be the point of Mega Evolving?
That's not fair. Yes, it's a Mega Pokemon.
Meganium! Like, the beefiest Mr. Steak.
Oh yeah, increasing Zenny gain is so helpful right now.
Looks like Brian in the chat is getting like their toy rights gonna take out Gygar this week. That's like the really expensive one.
Yeah. I'm surprised you shelled out for it, but then again, I'm happy with the mini plot. Like, maybe a real grade Gao Gygar in the future to, like, improve on the real grade Genesect or final Gao Gygar in the future, but I'm like, I'm not...
Like, you're not hard-pressed.
Yeah.
Like, honestly...
I'm not gonna fixate over those.
Honestly, I feel like with, like, those high-end, Super Robot, you know, I'm just gonna call them what they are, literal models. Like, how worth it they are to you really depends on, like, if you've, already have a figure of that or not, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have the Mini Club Gao Gygar and you don't want to have the Awakuni versions or whatever, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, if you don't have any of them, just, like, do what's right, do what you feel is right for you.
Mm-hmm. Boligar is saying, were they indicating who had a quest with the transfer button? I don't think we have that option just yet.
Or you have to possibly select it. It's like, I'm just...
Mega Breath.
Transfer level select. Oh! Interesting.
Cool.
So it's like you can cheat your levels as well to just make things easier. Again, there are people who just want to play this to be casual about it, which is completely fine.
Kira Chris is asking a good question. Is there anything you regret buying?
Sometimes yes, recently not especially. It's like, okay, the second 3D printer I got was not one of my bamboos. It was a I'm forgetting the brand, but the point is I barely use the damn thing because it's so finicky. And so I really should have just, like, saved the money I spent on that for the second one, the third one and I ended up getting, which I actually do use more. And it's like, it's the super large one that's meant for super large prints, but it barely functions because it just does not work right, and I don't have the patience to be micromanaging it. So right now it's downstairs until I can resell it.
Tron. Yeah, Tron Kwong V. I remember, I may be the odd one out, but I prefer Gal Figar over both Gal Gaigar variants. You know, I respect that opinion.
I like when Rianne takes over piloting it and Gal Gaigar versus Bearman, but I can kind of see some aesthetically why, but like the full Beast Genesis, no, that hits a proper note with me.
Yeah. But it's an opinion I respect because you don't really get a lot of, like, I have nothing against Gal Figar, so, yeah. Big news from Golden Garo, though. They're finally graduating on May 8th.
Congratulations. Hopefully you can use your degree to get a decent paying job. Considering that's just, like, where everybody's struggling right now.
Yeah, we just not gotta find the thief wherever they are.
Because there's only so much accessible
area right now. Queen Natalie, anyone else besides me kind of hoping for the 30th anniversary of Gundam X they do a full adaptation of the sequel manga Under the Moonlight?
Sunrise doesn't have anything on its production stable right now, so I doubt it. I think they're just going to be releasing the new high grades. I'm not really buying until we get to the upgraded versions, just because I don't want to do the same kind of double dipping I did with the remake Gundam Wing kits. It's like, there are people who just prefer the upgraded versions that don't want to buy the inferior versions.
Okay, I'm gonna answer Brian. Brian said, I have the Mini Blood Genesis. It's a good display piece, but I can't properly play with it. Boy Rise is meant to be more playable at the cost of show accuracy, so I should like it more.
Fair.
Fair.
It's like, I can play with it enough for what I need to, but it's like, for me, it's just about, like, posing it for display than really, getting into the minutia with it.
Yeah, but I can see the appeal.
Yeah, it's like, if you really wanted something playable, they had a more solid, non-transformable version before, which I also had, which I didn't like as much, because it didn't do the full transformation.
Pure Crystal. I'm curious as to why some Japanese artists advance do world tours like Flow, for example, but artists like Naoya Mizuki only does part of Asia or only in Japan. I can speculate an answer. The band Flow, they are just a band, so they don't have any other contractual obligations. They can just go wherever they need to be. But you gotta remember, like, people like Naoya Mizuki, they're also voice actresses. So alongside all the concerts they're doing, they also have to be on ready for like doing voice work. So
bands do tours, individual artists have their own responsibilities, plus Nana has her own kid.
yeah, she's also a parent, which is just still it's like insane to me that we have a Mama Mizuki.
Yeah, so it's a difference in responsibilities and just differences in what they want to do with their careers that creates differences in what they do. It's like the Final Fantasy bands are like, Final Fantasy is a known worldwide property, so of course they're going to do something with that. Versus, like, an idol singer whose music is mainly known in Japan but has international fans. You're less likely to see them perform everywhere and anywhere.
Is that the thief on that roof over there?
I think that is, I just don't know how to get over there.
DJ, did they miss singing EXE yet? No, not yet.
No, it's like we're doing that right now, quite literally.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out how to do it. Tron, Gundam X is legit the middle child of the AU Gundam series, which is a shame. It's my third favorite Gundam series.
It is the most retaliatory point on, and I put it in context when I was discussing the Gundam stuff amongst the Super Robot Wars reviews, where it is the most retaliatory against the obsession with Universal Century Gundam because of how much that was actually harming development of the Gundam series overall. Because, you know, they were doing the AU series specifically to get away from, like, the Universal Century fixation that actually harmed the franchise. Then you had, and lost so many people because they were sick of Universal Century, and the pro-Universal Century fans were such a vocal but angry minority at that point that doing the AU Timeline series was necessary for the franchise to survive, but the people that was being marketed towards didn't care anymore. New fans were, like, just confused, and the Universal Century fans were being just little bitches about everything. So, of course, there's going to be a bit of professional pushback on that. Alexa's head.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, nice. Power bomb.
Yeah, how you get over there is the real question.
Do you want me to look it up?
I don't really think there's a good way to look it up with all this. The guides are that bad.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. You're kind of just stumbling your way through a lot of this. Again, which makes it disappointing that, like, Greg Seplack never really did a guide for the game. Difficulty. I'm going to set encounters to 0.
For right now, yeah.
Yeah. I could have sworn there was a set encounters to 0 thing.
There should be.
Maybe it's in the later games. Okay, I'm back over here.
Oh, in the statue by the train.
Ah.
Thank you, Nico Nambaka. Now we know.
Now he's half the battle, now we just need to get back over there.
DJ Toku, this is random, but this game reminds me of other games I played on the DS. Anyone else remember Tropes?
Oh god, yes. That was, like, mass marketed all over the place.
It's like, look, it's a Pokemon killer, and then it just fades away.
Yeah, every time someone tries to make a Pokemon killer, it doesn't fucking work.
Because to be a Pokemon killer, it's not just you make one good game. Pokemon is a multimedia blitzkrieg. It is a machine that is constantly pumping out content. Like, not in a bad way. It's like, if you're going to take on Pokemon, you can't do it in half measure. You can't just put out one game and be fine.
Okay, there we go.
Why to change target?
I was even trying to find the way it pulls down, I just wasn't. What are you looking at?
Like, dude, there's some strange waves, man. You're stealing! The stealing is wrong!
My poor insane son.
I do remember with the Starforce games, some of the EX bosses get nutty.
Yeah.
Like, you basically start playing like a bullet head.
And like, I remember there being a shield command that helped with that, beyond just barrier.
Alright, let's go bring it to that guy.
Who's that guy?
Tron, to be a Pokemon killer, you have to make a game franchise and company that outlasts Nintendo and Game Freak. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it just can't be a simple shot in the pan. You have to commit to
The bit.
Like,
Yokai Watch had a shot at it, but I don't think it had the same cross-country appeal as Pokemon did. I'm not saying that people over here didn't like Yokai Watch. I'm just saying that
it was niche.
Right. Whereas with Pokemon, like, I mean, you
Like, it might have had a chance had they not done stupid stuff with the dub. Not the casting, but the the name changes that broader anime fans do not like.
New person in the chat, I'm just gonna give you this warning, we're not doing token questions.
Delete it now! No, not you, Alexis, the person who asked it. We are deliberately not watching Gavan Infinity. Seriously, delete it now or you will be permanently banned. I'm not asking again. Yeah, it's like the pulse-in markers are something I'm definitely gonna miss over time.
Nico Dunbaka, the fact that Spectros was made by Disney makes me laugh. Disney made a Pokemon clone and gave up after 2 DS games and a Wii game.
And that's not even counting on their other Nintendo killer, which was whatever their Amiibo clone was.
Oh yeah, that really was, I think, the Disney Infinity or whatever.
Yeah. There we go, there's the other kid. Now, we were in that one. So, okay, whose else are we looking for?
The doghouse?
No, of the transers. Because that's kind of what we're stuck on, just, like, going into their transers and being invasive to their privacy. It's like, I know we're going to the doghouse, but... Some people do just not fucking learn. Banned for the day. Okay, so we gotta look at a computer.
You know what I like about this tutorial section? It feels natural because it's not just... You're not being forced at the information, it's more like...
Just because the aesthetic is different, it requires a bit more of a learning curve to be addressed.
Yeah.
Especially this battle system. Like, I swear this battle system is what made people en masse just, like, not engage with these games. Because there's not the same freedom from the Battle Network games where you could go back and forth in your 9 squares, whereas here you're just stuck to 3 squares. If you wanted to attack in close range, you have to use the special function.
Like, and I don't really care for it myself, but I can see, like, how there is a different strategy mindset you have to develop.
Yeah, which not everybody will.
Like, you're effectively in a bullet hell. Like, that's the way I'm looking at it. And, you know, learning that you can't just simply... You're like...
And shmups are not for everybody.
Yeah. So you have to defend yourself by attacking, which is, like, kind of absurd, but...
I have a perfect defense. Attack. Again, it's the perfect mathematical plan.
All I know is that when I get my chance to play this game, I will be, like, trying to go for as many counters as I can.
There we go. What, you couldn't animate them actually jumping?
You look like me! Battle Network Blaster.
One of several Mega Man crossover events throughout the Starforce games.
It's like, thank you, Mega Man. What'd you call me? Yeah, because you mega that man.
And now his weapon. Battle Network Buster, Rapid 5. Legendary's Rapid Fire weapon. This is the base weapon, P-Fangs. This is what I equipped before. It has free shot equipped. I think I got this from the earlier transfers in.
You did.
Yeah, but Battle Network Buster, it's not as good as the later ones, but it's nice to just have the rapid fireness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, with us being able to change the transer level for all that stuff, it doesn't as much matter, with the mods as well to like increase the attack power of the base Buster, it just like turns everything into a machine gun. Let's check out the car's computer room.
Bilbo, why am I hearing this panel from Chainsaw Man as a joke? Okay, so to explain for those who aren't aware, the shonen manga Chainsaw Man recently ended this week. And in no short time, there was a particular page from that manga that has been memed already to death by the internet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. This panel, like, had a, like, I don't want to get too lost in the weeds, but basically, it's something to the effect of, a woman says, "Thank you, Chainsaw Man," and Denji goes, "What?" Like, yeah, because you killed that guy with a chainsaw, and, like, people are kind of dissatisfied with Chainsaw Man's overall ending, so they...
Because it's a cosmic reset button ending.
Right, and your mileage may vary as to whether or not, like, that works for you. So people have tried to start applying that to, like, other franchises, and it's...
Yeah,
some of them are really funny.
Yeah, because, like, the cosmic reset button ending has been so ruined just broadly by Toei that there are ways to do it well. Toei has failed with it nearly every single time, so if you're aware of that side of pop culture stuff, you're, like, less accepting of it overall. Because, like, reset button endings just end up being so lazy, they rarely justify everything's gone that far to hell, so we have to reset stuff to it, because it just feels like there's no consequence from it, or the consequences are so small that they don't seem to matter. No, not everything is going to be Star Trek TNG's Best of Both Worlds, where everything is reset, but the experience still mattered. Which is how you have to actually handle those sorts of reset button endings. You can't just be like, oh, the entire story never actually fucking happened, because people tend to get pissed at that.
Go and Garo, do they have back in the Battle Network events with the other games? I would assume so.
Yeah, they do. It's like, why would you get rid of a gimmick that works?
DJ Toku, so in a bit of good news for my bad month, and they basically got their sister-in-law's brother to watch Stargate in early episodes of SG-1, and he liked it and wants to see more, so getting more people into the Stargate series.
Yeah. Black Citrus King, heaven forbid a shonen protagonist get a happy ending that doesn't involve keeping the status quo. Yeah. Like, you can change the world and improve things and still have the protagonist actually be happy at the end.
Yeah. Bilbo, for me, it feels like it's making fun of Fujimoto's writing. Sure, it's a little on the nose, but it was always on par for the course for the series. And that's what I kind of took away from it, too. Because, Fujimoto, the creator of Chainsaw Man, he's that guy where he has a lot of good ideas, and
But he's direct about them, from what I understand.
yeah, like when he's able to execute those ideas, he's like giga brain. Like, wow, that's some thematic symbolism and storytelling you're doing right there. And then other times it feels like he's doing nothing but a post, and you can't tell the difference. You know what I mean? So like maybe when like people actually read the second part of Chainsaw Man from start to finish, knowing where it will eventually go, like things could make more thematic sense, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
Bilbo's still trying to finish Stargate Atlantis.
I don't know where yours is, but I can understand that Season 4 can get... They have a lot of individual personal episodes. And honestly, this Season 3 to 4 split is where a lot of people get lost. I don't find the series overall bad, but it becomes a bit too long in the tooth with its status quos.
DJ...
Universe is where everything died.
Oh, for sure. For DJ, they couldn't get into Chainsaw Man because of the gore, which...
Yeah, fair.
Fair.
Same reason here. Like, I am not a gore person. There are times where I can do, like, visceral horror, but it's very limited in context. Like, I love the Evil Dead movies. I'm not good on the gore in the first one. And the first one is the most gory, but I can handle it because the material is aged enough where I can distinguish it.
And you sat through Undead Unluck with me, and you were able to get through...
Undead Unluck, like, it had blood-based gore, but that's, like, it's not necessarily the same thing.
Right, like, that's what I was worried about, because I wasn't quite sure, like, what...
Like, Season 1 Dio JoJo's stuff. That's where he's, like, pulling out the specific veins and sinew, and it's so graphically animated, and it's like, no.
Or like that part where he stabs when he first becomes a vampire and he goes on a wrecking spree.
Yeah. It's just knowing about where the line is. It's like, something can be good, it's just something... You can have personal issues with the appreciation of the content due to those kind of content issues. It's not a showcase of the material is bad, it's a showcase of there are things where I personally do not like them. And someone should be able to distinguish between those sorts of things. It's like, it's not bad because I can't tolerate it, but I can't appreciate it the way someone else can because of those things. Okay, let's go through this EM road and then wrap things up. Going around, the most I can handle in regard to body horror's Parasite Eve. I know that name, but I'm not remembering where I know that from.
All I know is that if people don't really, like... All I know is that more people need to read Go Nakai's Devilman. Like, only in the context of, if you want to see something that was the original insane story about a kid forming a contract with the devil.
Yeah. DJ Toku, case-by-case basis for me. I like Tokyo Ghoul, but the gore was offset by the great art by the end of the series, if that makes sense. No, that totally makes sense. Bilbo, when it comes to Stargate, my idea to reboot the series is first to have an animated trilogy to finish the old universe, in the same vein as Babylon 5 The Road Home. I mean, the only issue with the old universe is, like, Stargate Atlantis never got its proper conclusionary movie because of MGM's bankruptcy at the time, even though Joe Flanagan had secured independent financing for such a film to go on, but because, you know, the license holder was just, like, gone, they couldn't, at the moment and in between ownership, they couldn't really get anyone to, like, support it through that. And the other thing is just, like, the hanging plot thread of Stargate Universe, because no one likes Stargate Universe.
But on the topic of, like, gore and stuff, I feel like it's a balance, right?
Yeah.
Because I can't handle horror movies that are splatterfests, right? But I can handle John Carpenter's The Thing. And I think the difference is what is the horror being used to, that gore being used to represent.
Yeah,
right?
it's like if it's like callous murder and people being in pain, not so much. But if it's like to show how horrifying something is, it's more tolerable.
Right. It's like why I can read Berserk and be mostly fine. You know, because Berserk is a dark fantasy series that has heavy themes about depression, loss, and just struggling to face up over mounting horrors. You know what I mean? Like, oh, DJ Toku, when they were a kid, they saw the Nightmare on Elm Street scene with the blood geyser.
Oh, you punned by accident. That's not how you spell geyser. But yeah, blood geyser.
Like,
so you're not wrong,
You're
but
not wrong!
and that's a typo, but it's still punny.
But
I guess Freddy Krueger would be proud.
honestly, though, the way they actually shot that scene in the original was actually pretty ingenious for the time. They basically had a stage set up in a special I can't remember what it was exactly called, but it was basically a thing that could rotate an entire set around. So basically, the woman that would be on the ceiling would stay in place, but because the room was turning, it would make it look like she was moving around. You know? Anyways, Mega Man.
Black Citric King. I can't handle gore myself, but the ending murder of Blood Sea because it had a point to it. Yeah, again, if there's a point, it's less triggering than if it's just for the sake of itself. Like, stuff in Garo can get pretty graphic, but because of what it was supposed to air in the audience it was for, it's not the most gory of horror franchises. That sort of psychological horror that Garo does, it was more my wheelhouse. Bilbo, I used to hate horror as a kid, but the movies movies that have scary parts like Secret of Nim, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Return to Oz helped me build a tolerance for it when I got older. And all those things those weren't supposed to be horror segments, they just had that tinge to it. But yeah, that's more the kind of appropriate stuff where you need to sprinkle it in appropriately so it's like you don't coddle children to the possibility of things going absolutely mind-bendingly horribly wrong. The more someone can conceptualize that sort of stuff, the better they are, because you're not being lied to about the shape of the world where things can go that catastrophic.
Oh no, I remember this part.
Yeah. The fact she has minions, though, I think that helped build the idea that she was, snobby instead of, no, that's her, they're actually trying to be helpful, too. And it's, this is all from Gio's perspective, so he doesn't realize how they're actually trying to be helpful.
Right.
And then you take, Gio's perspective on things just because, viewpoint character.
My arm!
Plus, they kind of look like they're a bully.
Shoryuken!
And yeah, that animation model for the The
uppercut.
The character portrait, like, it looks more smug than they're probably intending.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Gio, you're going to jail.
Just a smidge.
And this is, like, Luna's not perfect herself either.
It's like, it's showing her as more a spoiled brat, which is the initial viewpoint that she's worse than she actually is, or is showcased to be, or that's part of her own character arc.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, severing a bond like that over something so petty, it feels like she doesn't really respect it as much as she should if it's that important in this universe to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, they became duplicates of Lance friends, though I do they legit became good people with Geo after this game. Yeah, fair. Because they didn't need the overly chunky big bruiser guy to copy Dex.
Right, Dex is gonna be Dex, and they were trying to go for something different, and it's like you can emulate, but don't directly copy. You know?
Yeah.
Or I should say, not emulate, invoke.
Yeah. Agreed. And it's like his head thing. It looks weird.
Yeah, it's like a boxer's head brace kind of thing.
Yeah, which if he's a kid in school, he really shouldn't have. And it makes him look like more of a delinquent than he is.
Aww.
And now he's feeling sorry for himself.
Because, yeah.
And it's like, it makes it seem like their bonds are more petty than they are.
But this is where we get the Forza kind of parallel going on.
Which Kazuki Nakashima would be 3 years from implementing himself. 3 or 4 years? I don't think it directly influenced Forza, but it's again, I completed Dragon, and I saw what Forza would later be going for.
A cow!
Technically, Taurus is more bison, but... And of course, the first enemy is fire-themed.
It's a tradition, you gotta do it, right?
And yeah, people being manipulated through emotional vulnerabilities, that is evil.
Mm-hmm.
That is, throughout it, evil, and I like series that exploit that for why you have redeemable human villains and also irredeemable human villains who don't really have a heart. I like that exploitation of various sin motifs, and I hate that American series don't really do that. They either write it off as some level of psychosis or it is sociopathy, or that creates that sort of manipulation, but it's they don't recognize the root causes, and thus they're less able to distinguish between people who can't be helped because they embrace that element of themselves within them from actual psychosis. Granted, that's the thing that's just grown so much since the 80s, since mental health bullshit has happened and become worse and worse, and how to recognize it outside of people just choosing to behave badly.
DJ, extra since it's kids being manipulated in all this.
Yeah.
Again, these are kids in elementary school. Do you really think that kids in elementary school are going to make the most rational decisions?
Even teenagers with Force and stuff, it's definitely a case of someone who's an adult who knows better versus someone who's a hormonal dumbass because of everything else going on and the pressure being put on them. It's of course, they're going to be just as vulnerable as little kids. Even though they are at an age to know better. The difference is just, like, what is the vulnerability? What is the emotional state of it? How much have they experienced to be able to know better, or is there personal circumstances leaving them open to being exploited? Because it's like as we were kind of getting into this the other night, when we were watching Transformers Headmasters, we're watching the Japanese sub version from fan subs because the fan subs are better than the Shot Factory subs. And we were getting into how we don't like how Daniel was portrayed in the Headmasters as a really little, like, 5-ish kid, when the guy is 11. And he was portrayed more maturely in Season 3 and 4 than he was being depicted a year after he was supposed to be, like 2 years after the events of Transformers the movie. And he's acting like a little invalid kid, and that's not how you write, like, 10 or 11-year-old kids. Since, they're old enough to, like, being able to conceptualize this stuff and not be bratty. Sleep! Small compared to the other TV. A small TV that is small compared to the other TV. Also, I liked this setup.
Yeah, I do. I think Gio has a kick-ass room.
Yeah, and it's like, his entire wardrobe is below this setup. In the concept art we were going through, it showcases it better, but in the other concept art, this bookshelf is like a door to an underground, bed wardrobe. It's good space utilization. Sleep! Three days. Red bicycles and rose petals. It's all red items. They're playing off of the bull thing.
Even though, like, so fun fact, folks, if you weren't aware, in bullfighting, there's this common. People think that, like, you use the color red to, like, toros to, like, control the bull. No, that's not what pisses the bull off. It's just the fluttering of the motion of the clothing wave that does it.
Yeah, it's the red color is just to make it visible. Like, give a visual indication for the audience that it's going on. If you do it in black, like, okay, sometimes that's fine, but if it's getting darker, then black isn't as easy to distinguish, especially because some types of bulls have color blindness. So, the more you make it visible, the more it can actually have a visual impact, especially because of how those stadiums are designed. It's like, if you're looking at the entire event from a while out, you can't really see a darker color as well as you might be able to see red.
But also, I like how it's not just immediately the day after. It's like there's some time passage.
Yeah. Plus, there's the idiom of seeing red as a
like your
expression for anger,
right?
Because red is the color associated with rage. In fact, there's an actual night mapping for this.
Yeah, you never saw that in Battle Network. Am I wrong? Like, I don't recall there being...
I think there were places where they were naturally colored darker, but...
That's the main map.
Not the main map as much.
DJ, lots of things about animals and common knowledge is wrong. The whole alpha wolf thing was discredited by the guy who came up with it.
Yeah, because he mischaracterized.
Yeah, because you haven't heard about.
Yeah, the whole alpha male, alpha wolf thing. It's like, no, they're pack animals. Sometimes, and he deliberately isolated a wolf to.
It wasn't deliberate. He was actually just observing them in captivity.
Yeah,
like the guy who did the whole alpha study.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. And then like. Animals in captivity behave differently than those
in
out
the wild.
In the wild.
Yeah. In fact, wolves are actually very friendly creatures. They use the power of friendship. Like, as in they will make friends not only with other wolves, but there's been reports of them teaming up with, like, crows and stuff to, like, hunt animals.
And it's like they just get more savage when their companions are hurt.
Right. And if you see a lone wolf, that doesn't mean, like, it will probably be, like, with a new pack soon enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like they're transitioning between groups, or they're going on their own for some reason, just to, like, diversify the species and not be inbred by staying with one group for too long.
In fact, but there is an animal that does better describe the whole alpha male mindset. Chickens.
Yeah. Yeah, how condescending Luna is from the start also doesn't help things.
Mm-hmm.
So it is kind of that Weiss thing of she gives a terrible first impression but gets better after.
Yes. And also, like, she is actually going on patrol to see if she can figure what's going on, so it's not like she's all bad, it's just she has these condescending moments.
Yeah. Phantom 666, what technology would you rather have in everyday life? Net navies or Reploids? Net navies. Not just because of the companion AI factor, but it's like, Reploids, when you have a robot like that, seems kind of slavey.
Right, like, net navies invite a sense of companionship. Like, net navies in Mega Man Battle Network were always shown to be more effective when you developed an actual bond with them. They were like your best friend, essentially.
And there were things they just couldn't do, which you had to do yourself. Right. Reploids, it's like, it's that robot dependency thing. And then, you know, everything gets weird once they get to this unit have a soul stage.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Took, what parents let a bunch of 11-year-olds roam the town at night? Japan. I mean, when you're a highly clustered metropolitan area and you're out, and there's a bunch of kids out, like, maybe playing until it gets late, like, you're not gonna be able to micromanage them the best.
P968, I don't know if I ship her or Guitar Girls. Oh yeah, Sonia, like, you've already laid your claim.
You know where I stand.
I know where you stand. Honestly, I feel like which one's better is really a question of preference, and they're both good characters. It's just, you know, what do you like? What do you like? Do you like the hoity rich girl with a heart of gold, or the fun-loving guitar girl who's your best friend?
Yeah. And I'm a fan of the childhood best friend romance angle.
Yeah.
Or the destined meet as a child thing. Because, it better builds the bond. As Teacup asks, why not both? Yeah, you can legitimately just go through the he has two hands thing.
Ooh, truck.
Oh no, we're gonna get run over.
Oh no.
Why do you have... Oh, right, it's automated. At least he apologized.
Yeah.
Again.
I think with this, it has the case of she's never been told a direct go, and Gio's like the challenge, right? Like, she's probably thinking to herself, I can fix him.
Maybe he doesn't want to be fixed, or maybe the forcing that upon him is making things worse. Because it's the wrong angle of attack. Well, she has an angle. Attack.
I'm gonna place my card face down and attack mode and show her my powers. Yeah.
Ron, that smugness reminds me of Tosaka for Fate. Rin is at least personable. She mainly gets smug in a private sense. Something she can be with people that, like, can see multiple sides of herself.
Oh, he's freaking out! He's freaking out! I'm gonna move this truck! Oh no! He's activated the Calpon module!
Move along home.
I'm gonna make you guys watch Disney's Home on the Range. No! Not that boring Disney animated movie that bombed at the box office! Anything but that!
Fantasy 66, so considering the importance of school in Japanese culture, why is he not in school? It seems like an issue more than just the class president would push. It was brought up earlier that he's getting homeschooled because of his trauma, so it's like, homeschooling is a thing in Japan as well, and they require anyone with it get the right sorts of test scores for it, but it is a thing that can happen in special circumstances.
I can't believe I forgot about this. DJ Toku, you're the best. Release the buffalo! Wait, wrong bovine type.
No, bisons and buffaloes are correctly related.
Good thing Gio's not trying to be killed by a forklift. That'd be really bad.
Nico Nambaka, this really did predict self-driving cars, right down to danger to civilians. This was in Battle Network 1 as well. They had the rampaging bus. So it's a proper callback.
So it's a vehicle that was speeding along. It was speeding down the roadways. It was trying to speed a lot.
So what you're saying is we should call Keanu Reeves.
Yes, because it's the case of the bus that couldn't slow down.
This is where Apu comes in to critique the terrible, terrible title and the fact that it's a ripoff.
Truck, just let me isekai you! I'm just imagining, it's like, come on! Your destiny awaits in another world!
We're gonna have to cause a vehicle crash.
Phantom 66, where did this kid learn to run from the Prometheus School of Running Away?
It's a Tomei-style ultimate technique. Or retrained with the Joestars.
Yeah. Run away! Yeah, Chico Namaga said it. He must be a long-lost descendant of the Joseph Joestar with that running. Geo.
This one was not open earlier. Or if it was, I missed it.
Omega says, "What are you doing in here, Geo? I wanted a soda." Also, did you hear the PS5 price is going up?
Yeah, that was expected. Gee, I'm glad I have one and don't need to mess with that. The bigger issue will just be Switch 2 prices, considering I'm planning to help you guys with that before Gen 10 starts. Also, I'm glad this game allows us to, like, transit out of these side maps more easily.
Wasn't there a way... Didn't they say that there was going to be a way to, like, run? Or maybe I'm just misremembering.
I think it's for the later games, considering it's like there's no way to turn encounters off, and they said there would be a way to turn encounters off.
Teacup, so wait, he's half Italian? Yeah, that's right, Geo Stellar is half Italian.
Big Meteor.
I'm sorry, Vitena.
It's a big Meteor. We all know it.
Nice!
Nigo Nambaka, maybe that's why he has two love interests, a natural Italian charm.
We've learned that.
Actually, the Battle Network series, like, did have multiple love interests for Lan and Chad. It's just, like, there was just, especially in the anime, it's just, like, there was one everybody clearly preferred. For Lan, it was male. For Chad, it was Aneta. Anime-specific Aneta, just because of her whole character arc that made her completely distinct from her Battle Network 3 incarnation. With Lan's other love interest being Jasmine, which no one was on board with, and Chad's being Yai, which no one was on board with when they first tried to do it. Just because Yai. Alright, boss area.
I always like these parts in Mega Man games. It sounds like a John.
Yeah, it sounds like a John. Did you survive?
I survived the evils of Chicago traffic.
Repeat that for the chat this time.
I survived the evils of Chicago traffic.
Yay!
I splurged. I had fun. I lived.
Yeah, John went to a con in Chicago. That's where he's been today.
C2E2.
Yeah. Unfortunately, John had to fight off several Chicago bums. That seems like a lot of gold.
Look at all these cards that I can all get to clear out the entire board.
I think you got an achievement for doing that.
Obviously easier to get later in the game. Let me check that.
DJ Toku, is it worse than LA traffic?
About the same, depending on time of day.
So I left the convention around 2 o'clock. I'd been there for about 3 or 4 hours. Thought, okay, I've done all I need to. The hardest part was getting to half-price books. Because oh my god,
Yeah, it's just a straight shoot up on the highway, but then it can get finicky.
so many cars, so many people. I was afraid. I feared for my life. Pretty sure I ran a red light at one point, but no one was hurt.
Yeah. Seriously, it's just something to look out for in Chicago traffic. It makes you more aware of. So yeah, there are apparently 40 achievements throughout the game. Throughout the 8 games. I'm guessing there's an achievement for, like, completing all three of a given version.
Oh yeah, and the music, they got like the remix tracks for.
Yeah, and then there's ones that are explicitly going to be DLC.
They put a lot of effort into these legacy collections, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'd say the single biggest purchase I ever got. A signed photo of Sir Dooley Hill from Psych and the West Wing.
Really?
Yep. Actually,
He was also on Suits.
yeah. If you want to take a look, see. And he even signed it the nicknames. At least one. Okay, D Buttersnaps. And I had actually, and when I posted on Reddit, on the Psych Reddit, one person asked, has anyone ever asked him which Dooley Hill, which are his favorite nicknames? I was like, I couldn't.
You were right there.
I know, there were so many things I could have asked him.
There's probably been an actor interview thing which has asked him about that.
Yeah. Okay. $80. It was $80 as well for a photo, but so I had to pick and choose.
Yeah.
Also,
Some conventions, like, you get one.
sometimes, also it turns out, other conventions, like a lot of comic writers have to pay $10 for an autograph at this point.
I guess it's like policy changes over time where it's certain conventions where it's paid and others it's unpaid.
Yeah, for this one, I honestly was fine with doing it. That's where most of my money went.
Yeah.
And buying some comics. But I had a good day. And I even found more for Cybertron Rhinox.
Oh, nice.
At Half-Price Books.
So funny story that Hasbro just announced they're doing a complete Predacon collection of the Kingdom figures. They might be doing one for the Maximals.
John, I sent you that photo.
I know the Predacon line. I know the Predacon, but I didn't think the Maximals.
They haven't announced that yet, but I'm just saying, like, it's something they're probably going to do if they're going to do it with one, and you couldn't have known.
Yeah.
So it's just a resale thing. Like, remember, I got Airraiser, Black Arachnia, and Tarantulas downstairs. If they end up doing that, I'd have to sell the individual ones.
Yeah, I almost got Davis Tigerhawk before he reminded me that he did have it.
Yeah. We have the Tiger Hawk at home. The Tiger Hawk at home.
I'm not going to be the Tiger Hawk.
It's not like you'll last one episode.
Hey, I'm a main character in this household. What are you talking about?
Okay, you're Rat Trap. Or Black
I'm not going to be Rat Trap. I don't want to be
Black Arachnia.
Fine, okay, I'll settle for that, even though I don't like spiders.
Hey, you gotta face your fear sometime.
Oh, what was it, Kingdom Hearts 3?
I actually met two guys dressed as Organization 13 guys.
I swear, since Kingdom Hearts Shaded Memories, Organization 13 cosplayers have been ubiquitous to conventions.
They just appear.
I also, I actually met a lady who was dressed as Dio, and actually said, "Go to Dio!"
P96822, what are your thoughts on Invincible's new season? We've not been ever watching Invincible. Like, we hear of stuff about it, but it's not really our thing.
I've just been watching Vox Machina with, like, John on and off.
Yeah. Tron, speaking of traffic, with the raising gas price, me and a lot of others just opt for working from home whenever we can. If you have the option to do that, certainly do that. John and I's work locations are just too far to really do public transport with, but there's a lot of stuff around us where it's an easy walking distance just due to the foresight in us in what house I chose to purchase when we were at that point 5 years ago. It's like, the more time has passed, as much as we had issues with this location because of the bullshit one of our neighbor pulls, it's like, it mostly works out. Like, if you want takeout, there's a pizza place nearby, or there's a Wendy's in commutable distance. We can take an hour walk to a bakery, a bit more than past that for some other things if we need to. So it's like, it kind of just works out for the most part.
Alexis has the best luck when it came to finding a job in walking distance too.
You need help with this, Davis?
I'm just missing it because of distraction timing. But yeah, if I fail at it again, then yes.
Just take the bull by the horns!
The recovery's on, so... Yeah, I guess it's not overworld recovery. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I'm missing it after I did the first two just fine.
I think the best comic writer I met was...
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, well, John distracted me for a second.
I'll put up.
You just need to wait until we weren't in the middle of something.
Why are we missing?
The timing is odd.
Yeah, it's like, I for some reason my brain's gone stupid and I forget where the buttons are.
Even though it's in the same orientation and direction. Oh, come on. It's doing it twice in a row. Okay. Try it again.
Is there input lag?
Possibly. It is a new release. Or it's just like it's doing it too fast.
Phew.
I'm saving.
You want to submit it?
Brian and Kokoboshu, I think the game is bullying you.
Black Century King, I'm not going to lie, the time noise is making it sound like you're unlocking multiple achievements.
I think it's sucked in here. Yes, EM wave changed, but it's like they're not fused with an EM wave being yet.
Unless that's just how powerful an FME actually is, that they're able to just do that.
Okay, yeah, internal continuity. It fully works.
I mean, if Omega Sith is able to merge with Geo to like become Mega Man, I think it stands to reason.
Yeah, it's like, but it's the difference between the one who merges with them to give them that power, and just sucking anyone in remotely.
Yeah,
It's granted, I'm a bit more hesitant to accept this just because of the real digitalization in .hack Link, which released not long after this, or around this time, where it just like, it didn't justify that coming out of nowhere, despite it being a potential way to progress things, but wasn't established in story that it could happen, whereas here it's aliens.
right.
Which they play along different rules.
And that's always been my thing. Like, aliens will just naturally operate under different logic than what we're accustomed to.
Oh my god, I was wrong. It was aliens all along. I feel like those entire enemies could have been much more effective had they been able to do more. Okay, need the detector keys. Okay, that one was forgiving. Until this.
You've heard of hubris, now get ready for moobris. Who wants to hear a bunch of cow puns?
I stand by
What?
this entire time.
You don't bitch! Hey! You! I'm not a cat!
Where are you?
I'm a dog, okay? I was born in the year of the dog, not in the year of the cat. Chad, can you believe this? This is just so traumatizing. Except for those wheel enemies, you're pretty tired of them already?
Yeah.
Oh, and Garo, I guess you guys have beef with this stage.
I'd missed the computer, but it would do damage.
You can't miss the chat.
I hate fucking QuickTime events. I was so paranoid I was going to force me to do it again.
I was like holding my breath. Like, what? No. After we're done with the stream, I have to do laundry.
Yeah, I did mine last night, so you're all good. I don't remember how I got through this one originally. If it wasn't for the HP damage... My thing with any of the Battle Network Timelines mini-games for progressing through these boss areas is you need to have them actually be doable for the audience.
Let's see.
One more. And I just need a battle real quick to restore health.
Golden Girl says the worst stage for them was Cygnus' stage.
I have no recollection of that because it's been so long. Ah! Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
You want me to give it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
If you die, I saved right before this one, so it's fine. Okay, we're at the undershirt threshold.
finding I'm getting so backwards with the controls today. I think it's because like the controller, my PC controller, is an Xbox S controller, so
I mean, it orients in the direction of which way it goes. So you just need to think, oh, it's left, it's right, it's up, it's down.
I swear I'm hitting B.
Yeah, that's where I was hitting too. It's like it's input delay or something.
You want to hit it back?
Yeah. It's like this wasn't a problem on the DS controller simply because the buttons were so close together that you could just like move your thumb slightly and get it. Ron, does the game allow you to change the button binding to directional pad? Yes, but that changes the muscle memory entirely, so it would be even worse. Because part of the problem is we just can't press the buttons fast enough, and motor control is worse in my left hand. This would make it even worse. Yeah, see, it can be changed, just like it won't help. Oh, this is the encounter rate thing.
It should not be this hard.
Yeah, nothing that's gonna really help with this specific challenge.
Did we, like, just...
I think we're gonna have to call it before getting to the boss, just because this specific spot is such a time breaker. I think we've been on this specific one for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we have. I think we should... And probably we're also just tired.
Yeah. Yeah, we're stuck. Sorry, guys, we're not going to be able to get to the first boss.
Yeah.
Might actually block us from actually being able to progress in the game at all. Which would suck.
But maybe it's just a case of coming back with, like...
Yeah, maybe it's like they require a patch to really fix this, so... Okay, that's it for us in
Alright.
showcasing Starforce. Like we said earlier...
Okay, can I...
Go ahead.
Yeah, so starting next week, it's finally my turn to lead some streams, and I will be playing Trails in the Sky first on stream. I'm gonna do my best to 100% the game, because 100%ing a Trails game is actually not that hard if you're paying attention. I'm throwing you all into the fandom hole with me, and
It's in the hole.
yes, and it's gonna be lots of fun. And I've been like. It's been a good while since I've been able to lead a stream, so yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, and fortunately, if you guys have noticed, we have fully replaced the audio mixer with one that's new that seems to actually be working correctly with this PC, because outside of possibly any audio static, we have not had the entire audio card failing on us this time. So, yeah. Hopefully that'll stay fixed, and we will not have those problems in the future. So yeah, that'll do us. That'll do it for us this week. We will see you guys next week.
All right, bye everyone.
Later, guys.